Beth Ann.
What's up? I'm Ayla.
This is Let's Talk BL, a boys love podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast. It is Sunday. It's a very special day of the week.
Yes.
It's very exciting. At this point, I don't think this is your first Sunday special because we've been doing these for a little while now, but it's a new segment for this season, so it feels very new and fresh and fun to me. What we are doing on Sunday specials is a grab bag. It could be anything. We could be talking about a series. We could be talking about an actor. We have some special ideas coming up that, like, I'll be honest with you, we just haven't, like, figured out how to make the scheduling work, but they're going to be really cool when they happen, I promise you guys. That being said, today we are talking about an actor, a very special boy. A relatively new boy, like, in comparison, like, in the grand scheme of things, you know, like, in terms of, like, all of BL world. Today, we are talking about Oo of Uboom.
I'm so excited.
Beth Ann will be giving us her PowerPoint presentation on Oo of Uboom. Oh my god, that's actually something we should add to these. We should, like, have to make PowerPoint presentations for these boys, and, like, we can, like, put them on the screen.
Yeah.
That actually be really funny. We unfortunately don't have that. That was just a joke, but now it's, like, a real idea. That being said,
we should at least, even if we don't have PowerPoint presentations, because I don't know visually if that works also because this is a podcast, we should have, like, just random show and tell type things. I don't know. How
does show and tell work on a podcast, but a presentation doesn't?
You would just describe the thing because you show and tell. Whereas, like,
that's what a PowerPoint presentation is. You read off what's visual, on the thing.
I don't know.
Anyway, that clearly doesn't work in a corporate setting, y'all.
I do not. Thank goodness.
I'm very curious to see what will happen because Beth Ann is going to, at this point, be selling Oo to me. Yes. Because earlier we had a conversation and I was like, he's cute, but, like, I don't get your obsession.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get your and you made a comment too that, like, low-key, you also didn't get your obsession. Right. You were like, I don't know. I don't really care about him as an actor. I only care about the character.
Because
so this will be fascinating. I'm very excited.
We've talked about this before, is that I typically kind of am wishy-washy in who I feel I pay attention to at the moment. I just kind of follow the trends. I follow who's popular. I don't really have, like, my one true pairing. For a while, it potentially was Jungdong because I paid a lot of attention to them. I rewatched their series. I would watch edits. But then Uboom happened. And I was like, oh, my gosh. I want to buy everything with their face on it. I want to do everything that they're doing. I want to buy all the things. And it started from their characters because my comment is that I don't really pay attention to just actors because there are just so many cute boys. There are so many cute boys. And for me, I don't just pay attention to, like, who they are as people because ultimately we don't really get to see a lot of who they are as people, especially with the GMMTV boys, because a lot of times we're just given them in small doses. For example, with Uboom, because they weren't really front and center until We Are happened, you didn't get a lot of appearances. You didn't get a lot of them as people. You got a lot of them. I would say you got a lot of Boom in relation to his friends because there is a lot of content online in relation to his friends from university, and he, like, helps his friends sell makeup and stuff. But Uboom as people, you just get small clips when they go on IG Live or when they do different things on social media, but you don't get, like, a greater glimpse. For me, it starts with their talent. And this has always been the case. I have been like this with Western artists. There have been actors that, like, John Krasinski, for example, I really got into him through his acting. And then I would watch every single movie, series, anything he had done, which there's some really bad ones out there.
I think that's pretty common, though. Like, I feel like that's how most fans are, right? Because that's how you get introduced to an actor, right? Like, you wouldn't just, like, at least most people wouldn't just be like, that's a cute boy. I'm obsessed with him now, right? Like, you find actors via the thing you're watching, right? So, like,
I think it's both
pretty common that, like, it happens for most people of, like, oh, I really like this actor's work and now I'm gonna go watch everything. Like, I feel like that's a pretty common phenomenon. I guess what's, like, interesting is, like, your tendency is to, like, not go beyond that. Like, you don't actually look into them as people. You're like, I really like these characters. And then, like, because I can't remember who it was, but there was someone that, like, I had asked you about him and you were, like, obsessed with him.
Jimin.
Yeah, it was
Shimon.
Chimon. And you, like, literally, you were just, like, truly obsessed with him. Like, you were like, Chimon, like, would not stop talking about him.
He's so cute.
And I had, like, asked some sort of, like, question about him. I don't remember what it was. And you were like, I have no idea. And I was like, what?
I just liked him because he was cute in a series that I watched, and I was like, Chimon.
So I think that's why I'm saying, like, this is interesting for you, particularly in the way that you consume fandom.
Yeah.
Is because you don't, like, I think we all, or most of us, I don't think it's about just cute boys, right? Like, I think that's kind of, like, diminishing for most people.
Yeah.
And, like, I think for most people, it's about, like, the talent, right? Like, I don't think that's unique. I think a lot of us do consume based on talent, not just, like, oh, he's cute, I like him.
Well, my question is for people listening, tell us who you consume and how you consume them, because we actually have friends who we've brought to Thailand with us who are not into the BL scene, and they have fallen head over heels for Ward just because he's a cute boy who does pottery. Like, Jess has not watched any show that he's been in, and she'll send us clips of Ward doing pottery, and she'll be like,
who are you talking about?
She'll be like, I'm obsessed with this boy. She knows nothing about him other than he's a cute boy who does pottery and art. Like, that's the thing. And so I think there's, like, a spectrum of people. For example, Kauna. I became obsessed with Kauna through watching ship work that him and Turbo did outside, because they didn't have a series for the longest time, because they had a series and then it never aired. They filmed it, I believe, but it never aired. And so there's a ton of ship work prior to Love Stage, which was their first series together.
I mean, to be fair, they were lovely writer as a couple.
They were.
For your information.
They did. They played a cameo. They were the it couple of Thailand. My God. What a time capsule lovely writer truly was.
Get it together, man.
But so he's a good example of, I became more so interested in him as a personality, because we talk about this a lot. We never claim that we know these people as people.
Right. Because none of us do.
No. And so, I mean, hello, if you're watching K-pop at all in this moment.
Oh my God. I mean, also, like, think about, like, Mutual, right? Like, think about how many people thought that they so deeply knew both of those, in particular,
and
those actors
still
are just,
do.
Mew and Tool are, like, two really good examples of people that were very public on the internet, right? And they seemed to put their whole personality and their whole, like, life out there, and then it's like this huge bombshell that, like, none of us really ever would have guessed until they started sharing it with us, right? So like, I think that, like, that's a really good example of, like, there are people that can be very public that, like, you quote unquote think you know, that are it's not that they're being disingenuous, it's that they're only showing you a small genuine piece of them, right? That, like, you don't really know the full story of. But so, like, I think this will be interesting because you in particular don't tend to get into the people, right? Like, you never take it further than the show. You never really look into them, usually, like, for the most part. I can't think of anyone else that you've ever, like,
I don't, like,
besides Uboom, right? Like, that you've ever been like, yes, I know all of these things about this person.
Yeah, I don't typically, like, deep dive or
unless it's, like, for the podcast.
Yeah. I'm more so in it for the work, for their talent.
Versus, like, I am in it for the talent. Please don't take that the wrong way. Rude. But I tend to, like, once I like an actor, I want to know more about them, so I go, like, look into them, right? Like, I go see, like, okay, what's this person's story? Like,
I feel like this is the big difference in our, like, study habits, whereas, like, you're a big studier, like, you really commit facts to memory, and, like, you really get into, like, the memorization of the thing, whereas, like, I'm more of, like, a casual studier. I'm like, I will learn as life comes to me. Like, I will sit there and watch and look at a hashtag, but I won't go Google what is Oo's hometown.
But not when it comes to Uboom, because truly you are obsessed. And it's just been really interesting to watch because there's never been another, like, person or ship that you've, like, become this obsessed with. Like, maybe, like, probably the closest as far as I can remember is, like, Counter Turbo for you.
Yeah.
So this has been very interesting because like to watch just like as your friend, like because again like you're gonna be selling this boy to me because I just like I'm like he's cute and I like his characters and I think he's really talented, but like I don't get it. Like why are we so obsessed? Please tell me. I want to know.
Yeah. Okay. So we're doing a deep dive on U. His name is U Tanabun Kiat Niren. Not sure about that
read
last
the tie.
one. I didn't copy and paste the ties, so I don't got that one. His hometown is Konkan.
Cute.
Which is a great hometown. That's the hometown of so many boys that we love. Junior Atlas. Tanateep.
Bank G.
Big Boom.
Yes.
Who else do we know from Konkan? I feel like there's so many.
That's everyone I can think of from Konkan.
It's a cute little town, kind of northeast of Bangkok.
It's known for like once
dinosaurs.
A really long time ago they found a dinosaur bone there, like but it was like one single dinosaur bone, and the town has since made it like their cultural identity, and there's like not even like a museum, it's like one of those like dinosaur like sculpture park situations. Anyways,
actually it's about 5-6 hour drive from Bangkok. I know this because today Boom had an appearance at a mall in Konkan, and there was a whole Dao off-road moment about how U had to get his car fixed and he wasn't going to be able to make it, so he was going to send his dad as his representative, and then who showed up? It was U.
Dad is his representative. He's like, our family name must be represented.
Yes, but it's okay because U drove 5 to 6 hours from Bangkok to go support Boom.
Sure, because U Boom real.
Yes,
obviously.
Okay, so his debut was 2022 in acting. However, he did compete on To Be Number One Idol, which, you know, there's some good ones.
Have we decided in the past if we count those kinds of little reality shows as debuts? I think we said no.
No, that's why I put that separate. So To Be Number One Idol was like probably early days, and then he did street dance.
Cute.
He competed in street dance.
What does that mean?
It's like,
is it hip hop?
Yeah, it was like it was kind of like what like Irwin, and it was like a dance team, like competition. Street dance is the name of the competition.
Oh, he like was in a competition.
Yeah,
it wasn't like a style.
The name of the competition was street dance.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like he didn't street dance.
I was like, what? I was like, he danced in the streets. I don't understand. No. Okay.
Okay. So his 2022 debut acting was Enchante.
Yeah.
Which is where, a la like a Winnie Satong situation, U and Boom were not paired in Enchante, but they became besties through Enchante because U came from Konkan and had no friends, and thus U Boom became real.
And so Boom was like,
yes, his
friend.
Bangkok guide. Okay. He would stay with Boom. It was like a whole thing.
Cute.
Shout out to, oh God, I wish I remembered the Twitter handle, because somebody did a whole thread of like U Boom's history.
Wait, like stay with him in his house or like hang out with him?
In his apartment. Like
okay.
There are lives and videos of them like in bed together.
Okay.
You know, because that's what you do in Thailand. Because here's the thing. We've questioned this, and I don't think we've gotten a clear answer, because in the series, a lot of times, you know, like Bankbo, when they moved in together, in Gen Y, they shared a bed.
Yeah, and also in Bad Roommate.
Yes.
Plays Supa's first drama. Yeah.
And in My Matchmate. And in...
it's so common.
And in... Monster Next Door, they're sharing, like
they have to share a bed, right? Like they live together and they have to share a bed.
That's just like not a thing in the U.S.
No, you
get bunk beds.
You would never move in with somebody and you share a bed. Like that would never happen. So please, if you're Thai or know anything about the Thai, like maybe if you're spending the night, but you would never like move in.
No, it's Anyways, but yes, Enchante era is when U Boom became a thing, but didn't officially become like U Boom until Hidden Agenda, which is like far on down the line. So for U's filmography, we have Enchante being his debut work, and then Vice Versa, which you get a little bit of U Boom, but not a ton. Then you have The Eclipse, Midnight Museum, Our Sky 2, where I'm pretty sure he is part of the plan to steal the child from Neo's sister. Which is very funny. Be My Favorite, which Ooh plays one of the best characters.
Yeah, he's the best character in that whole show, in my opinion.
He is a sweet gay guide for Chris's character, and he brought so much life to that character, mainly because all the other side characters were just shitty people for the most part.
I don't know if they were shitty people, but they were just like, they added nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Then we have Hidden Agenda, which is truly where we get peak Ooh Boom. However, I will say this is another great example of the pilot trailer completely is different from the series, because in the pilot trailer, if you remember, Ooh Boom were supposed to be an established couple who were getting married and adopting children together. They were like the campus couple. And then for the series, they made them this like in the closet couple that like
they
Ooh
were
was
still
trying
established, but they were like
Yes.
not public.
No.
Yeah.
And it was very strange. I'd be so curious to know why they make those changes.
Was Hidden Agenda a novel?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Because potentially, like, it had something to do with that. Maybe, like, in the novel there was an out couple, or maybe, like, the other way around. Maybe in the novel they are a private couple. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be so
like,
curious
potentially
to know.
it had something to do with the novel.
Right. Then we have Beauty Newbie and We Are. They're also going to be in Perfect 10 Liners, which I'm super excited. He was also in a movie with Bright called Love You to Debt.
Ooh.
Yeah. His one true partner, his only partner in life is Boom.
In life.
Boom is the captain of my ship, but Ooh, I think has, for me when I was choosing Ooh or Boom, Ooh has like kind of a more established acting career and more kind of...
He's done more solo work, right?
Yeah. More stuff out there for him. He has a teeny tiny bit of music on Spotify under Ooh Tannaboon. He's in the We Are OST. And then Jokester, of course. Such a good song. I love that song. Also, go watch their performances from the We Are fan meeting, because it's so good. He's so talented. His little dance that he does with Pond.
Yeah, the little dance.
Because he like flips. He's like
he
a
like jumps on. He's
boy.
like on his knees and like
Very impressive.
Yeah.
IRL friends, I couldn't really tell because he's from Konkan and because the Thai only make friends in high school and
Correct.
college, and he went to Konkan University, so he has no friends.
No
except for Boom.
famous friends.
Yes. So that thread that I was telling you about on Twitter, he became close friends with Boom through Enchante, and then like all those kind of I feel like the cast are friends through the series because they have to like record promotions.
They just have
and
to
like
spend so much time together.
Yeah.
They're friendly. They're not necessarily friends. This
Right.
has been an interesting ongoing conversation that we've been having on the
Yes.
podcast this season about
Yeah.
like Thai friendships and
Right.
like the cultural nuances that are making friends in Thailand and with Thai people. So like, just because the Thais spend time with each other and work together and like go even at times go on vacation together, right?
Yeah.
They themselves wouldn't necessarily consider them that a friend.
Right.
So it's like a very interesting like cultural difference that's really hard to describe.
Yeah.
But it's like it's there. Like you just have to I wish there was a better way to describe it, but I can't.
It's fascinating.
How old is Ooh? Like what is his year? I ask because the boys from Konkan that are in Bangkok, there was just a good example of like they all know each other, but they don't consider each other friends. So, for example, we of course love Atlas, and we knew that Junior Atlas was from Konkan,
Right.
And so, the first time we like spent real time with Bang Tanati, we were like, do you know Junior
Yeah.
Atlas?
Yeah.
Because Bang Tanati was also from Konkan.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I'm his senior. So, like, I know him, but we're
Yeah.
not friends,
Right.
right? But, like,
They're a
they
different
both were
year.
dancers. They both, like, they spent time together. They, like, knew each other in Konkan.
I was going to say, didn't they go to the same high school?
They went to the same high school.
Yeah.
Like, they knew, like, they full on knew each other in Konkan. But Tanati was like, we're not friends. So, like, potentially, Ooh knows
There was somebody
like
else
Big
recent.
Tanateep and Junior, and
Yeah.
potentially he knows them, but they're friendly but not friends.
Right.
I guess it depends on how much the age difference is.
It's
right?
kind of like the Koreans, where if you're the same age, you're friends, but you're not really friends.
Well, I mean, we see that same phenomenon in the Thai language, right? They'll be like,
Yeah.
Puan. Puan is used for like your classmate, somebody the same age as you, even people not the same age as you, people you're just in a room with, right? Like we took a dance class in Thailand this last time we were there, and the teacher like wanted us to like move around the room and like dance with each other, and there were people of all ages in that class. Like there was probably like a kid that was maybe like 8 or 9, and then all the way up to your age, right? And she was like, dance with your puns, right? Like we were all puns because we were in the same room. Yeah. So like,
so Oo is 2000.
Okay. So potentially he knows Junior.
So and Junior is 97, which is like
that's like close-ish.
No, for the Thai, because that was the big thing about Fort Pete, was they're 3 years apart, and everyone acts like Pete is a grandpa.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. They would have been in school together,
right?
So like they know each other, but they would know each other, but they wouldn't be necessarily. Especially if it was a dancer, because Junior was also a dancer. So
was
like,
he? He was a swimmer, wasn't he?
But he also like did
he dance?
Yeah.
Okay. So then Oo went to Konkan University. He graduated last year. There's cute videos of Boom going to his graduation, because that's what I looked up for, like his IRL friends, to see who went to his graduation, because that's what I feel like is a decent indicator of like who you're quote unquote real friends with. However, it was Gawain and someone else that went to his graduation, but they were just in Enchante together. So I couldn't really tell. Like it maybe was like a seasonal thing where like you're close to those people for a time, and certain people are just like more outgoing and friendly, and so
also,
they just like show up.
Maybe he do still be friends with Gawain, because that man is like a ghost.
It's true.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they were like besties and just none of us knew.
Don't know. I know, that's my question right now, because Gawain and Joss are like doing ship work kind of, but like they're just playing basketball together. But have they always played basketball together and no one's paid attention until now? Like that's my question.
I remember back when, listen, I am a Luke Joss ride or die. Okay, like they're my OTP. Okay, yeah. But. So I remember I would watch a lot of like Joss stuff, also because like Joss.
Yeah.
And Joss used to have all these basketball games, and I remember seeing Gawain like around. So potentially they always played basketball together, but not together, right? You know what I mean? Like they both played basketball in the same place, like in their of similar ages.
Yeah.
Like that kind of situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I love that.
I'll never give up on Luke Joss.
He was in the Faculty of Fine and Applied Arts. He's an art boy.
Cute.
His fan club is oo_family on Twitter and IG. And he has no brand, shockingly enough.
No, yet.
Yes, it always happens eventually.
Yeah.
But that is Oo. He's such a cute, sweet boy. I will say I love Jokester because I like the way that they perform that song. I find like they just did a tour with School Rangers. You know how they do those like school tours, or I guess it's not School Rangers, it's just school tour. GMMTV loves to go to these high schools. I feel
because that's where they find all their children.
It's true.
Like that's how they got Gemini and Fourth.
Because
and someone else, who else did they get from that? Oh, Palm did it. Palm of Purses.
Yeah. They had that like high school thing where they like highlight a high schooler, and Oo was on that. I forget what that's called. We just interviewed.
See, I told you this. GMMTV does all these tours because that's where they find their children.
It's true.
Where they find the next generation.
Sounds so creepy.
I wonder how they had to find Pooin, right? Because they mined Pooin at the age of like 12. I should have looked that up when we did the Pooin deep dive.
He talks about. I think his mom encouraged him to go to casting.
Yeah, because at like the tender age of like, I don't know, 2.5, he was willed to GMMTV. I don't know, like.
Yeah, I think he casted.
He was like a Rumpelstiltskin situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Pooin's mom owed GMMTV her firstborn or something.
If Uboom do not get a series in 2025, I will send protest trucks.
So many people agree with you. That's all I've been seeing is just like people being like, Uboom 25.
Yeah.
Like a presidential campaign.
It is
for president.
Yes. We just got back from Thailand, and one of our, of course, adventures was to GMMTV to the merch.
Yes, the merch shop.
It's not a shop.
The merch hallway.
The merch window. Yes, the merch hallway in the window. There's even more stuff now because they put those what are they called?
The Gensha machines.
Yeah.
Gotcha machines.
Side note, everyone at GMMTV is so nice, like the people who work there, because the like security guy that was working that little machine, because you like get the ball and then you like roll it down this thing and then you like
get to trade it for your prize.
Yeah. Literally everyone that came through was like saying hello to this man, and it was like the sweet, like it was the most heartwarming experience, because it was like just like genuinely like they were all just like thankful that he was doing his job. It was very sweet. Anyways, I went up to the window and I was like, give me anything with Uboom's face on it, and the girl thought that was pretty funny. And there was very little. There was like an Uboom standee because they had the We Are stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're not an official couple yet, which again, GMMTV, get it together. I need them to be an official couple. I can't decide what their like symbol will be. I haven't done that deep of a dive to like know like what their thing is, because you know how the fandoms always give themselves like names and like symbols and all those kinds of things.
I guess we'll have to wait and see until probably like December. Because GMMTV just did part 2, so we're probably waiting until December for 25 announcement.
Yeah, when was part 1? Was it November?
I think it was.
It was a little early.
December. Was it like the first week of December?
I can't remember if it was early because they did 2 parts, so they didn't like have as much.
Yeah, potentially.
I wonder if they'll continue to do 2 parts now that they've done 2 parts. 2 parts is really complicated, I feel like, because
it makes things confusing, and then you forget that you were excited for something. Yeah. Like that fully happened to me.
You also forget that you haven't gotten the things from part 1,
right?
So potentially
and maybe that's why they did it. They're like, people won't be mad.
It's true, because like,
and people will still have hope, right? Because everybody's like, just because it wasn't announced in part 1, we still have part 2, you guys, right?
Yeah, it
is a genius like way to go about things if you're trying to avoid fan wrath.
It's true.
But you can't avoid that
no.
that Nanon fan wrath.
Womp womp.
Listen, it will never not be funny to me.
It's
when we went to part 2, there were protest banners.
There
were literally like banners in the mall. This thing, part 2. So we got to attend part 2 in person, which was crazy.
It was.
We tweeted about it, and I think we IG'd a little bit, but it would have been stories, so you can't go see it anymore. But I'm pretty sure we did tweet about it. And yeah, because I live tweeted.
Yeah.
And I did not post them, but this thing was in a mall.
Yeah.
And there were fully protest banners.
As you went up the escalator to the
there
location.
Were multiple banners.
Yeah, they were huge.
My favorite thing though are the most recent protest trucks that are like the fans protesting themselves.
Yeah.
Like they were like, we got hoodwinked. We're so dumb. Like they're literally protesting themselves. Like I'm very confused by it. I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah, the first Lang appearance, they had Om Nanon Forever.
I know.
Like LED screens.
Yeah, which is why, like, let Nanon sing his songs. Damn.
Yeah, let it go.
Let him play. Let him play Music Boy. Let Om Pawat shine as an actor like he always has. Yeah. Right. Like he is a BL like standard at this point.
I think this is a little bit why I tend towards the characters more so than the actors are getting too into the ship work. Because for me, like, I was obsessed with Mugolf, but I like to watch them from a distance. I wasn't like a Mugolf forever girly.
You weren't a
Wanjai. No, because I was like, I want these boys to act. And so like, and I was also just fascinated by like what they were doing. Whereas like Count Turbo, for example, are a great example. I was obsessed with Count Turbo as a pairing, as like Count Turbo. I loved Love Stage. I loved My Universe. They're My Universe episodes. But now Turbo's doing his music and Count is going to go kiss Max, which I'm really excited about. But I'm like, let them do their thing. And also potentially Mick, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yeah.
And Turbo's music is really good.
It's so good.
Same with Nanon's music, okay? And Nanon, here's the thing I also find fascinating about that, is that while Nanon were a thing, anytime someone would ask Nanon, like, what are your future goals? Like, what do you want to do in the next year, right? Like, things like that. All he ever said was that he wanted to do music.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is something we all knew about him. He was like, I want to do music. I want to do music. I want to, like, he wanted to release an album. He talked about that, right? Like, that was one of his, like, things that everybody knew. Let him live his dream. Damn.
Yeah. I don't, it's fascinating to watch the ship work, but I don't get too, I also just in general don't get too attached to couples.
Yeah. That's why, like, when we decided to start doing these Sunday specials, we were like, we should do individual actors because, like,
actors.
It's about who they are individually.
Because, like, my mom has been, like, we've known, like, couples get divorced in real life, and she's like, aren't you sad? And I'm like, sure, but it's not my relationship. Like, to have attachments, like, this happens in the West, right? Like, people are obsessed with, like, J-Lo and Ben Affleck getting divorced, and I'm like,
I mean, that's because, like, the drama, right?
Right, but, like, I'm not, like, when Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston broke up, like,
but were people actually sad? I feel like more so in the West, people are, like,
devastated.
People like reading drama about things that have nothing to do with them, right? Like, that's when drama is fun. Drama is not actually fun when it involves, like, your friends or yourself, but it's fun to be like, oh my God, J-Lo filed for divorce on their anniversary. The shade, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know, I was listening to a podcast and they were like, it was probably a good thing because they didn't have a prenup.
Yeah.
And so it was a good thing that her tour got canceled because, like, she doesn't have to split that money.
Yeah.
But yeah. But she does have to. Also, the engagement ring is a gift, so she does not have to give him that money.
Sure, yeah, nobody has to give back your ring. Like, you don't have to give back your ring, just, like, for reference.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Uboom, I have finally found my one true dream.
I'm so happy for you because, yeah, you never, this is not.
I cannot wait for 2025 if Uboom gets this. They'd be stupid. They'd be so stupid not to give Uboom a series. I'd be so pissed. Also, Winnie Satong deserve a series.
Yeah, Winnie Satong.
Because so you were saying, like, they're new to GMMTV. They're new to
like, in the grand scheme of
right.
things,
They're new to the BL couple world, but they just actually talked about this. They just renewed their contracts, which is fascinating because I'm curious to know if maybe GMMTV does, like, a 5-year contract thing, because they were like, we've been together for 4 to 5 years, and so potentially GMMTV does, like, a 5-year contract.
Yeah, but, like, again, in the grand scheme of things, if you look at, like, a Chris or an or like,
shout out to those Chris Singto fans. They really held on.
They made a listen, I just talked mad shit about all the Nanon fans who are like, Nanon forever. But, like, Chris Singto fans fully were like, Chris Singto for life. Like, literally,
I back into
watched
existence.
Chris Singto break up on stage with my own eyeballs. Like, I watched them and I heard them be like, this is it for us. Yeah. This is the end. Like, they fully said this is the end. Yeah. Chris cried and he was like, it's been such a good journey. No. Right? Like, they fully broke up in front of my eyes. And Chris Singto fans were like, I don't know her. Like, they were like, they just, like, refused to accept this, and it worked.
Every time we went back to Thailand, there were Chris Singto banners on GMMTV.
They just fully refused to accept it, and it worked. Like, that's crazy.
Those Chris Godwin fans held on for dear life, though. They tried so hard.
Listen, why can't we just be fans of all the boys?
I know.
And, like, then they can all kiss each other, and then that way Luke and Josh can have a series, bro.
Yeah.
I'm holding out for Luke Joss 25.
That would be incredible. I would love that.
Everybody thought it was going to happen this year, and I remember seeing Twitter go off when it was Joss and Gawain. Like, everybody's excited. I'm unironically excited for this Vampire BL, okay?
I was
but, like, everyone was like, what the hell?
I did love the contingent of people who were like, but Pod and Gawain forever.
Yeah.
I mean,
the
I
OG
am Pod and
DBK
Gawain
fans, like, shout out DBK, yeah.
I feel like Pod is just sitting at his fishing hole, being like, I'll work when you tell me to work.
I feel like he's sitting at his fishing hole being like, I'll work when I need to buy more bait. Like, I'm just saying, like, this man is not oppressed.
No.
He has made his money, and let him live his best life fishing, just like letting a nun sing, let Pod fish.
I did love Pod being the like love rival in Wandy Good Day. Didn't love him randomly being paired with the girl at the last second. Even they were like, what? Which was really funny.
But like, listen, he takes jobs when he needs more bait or like needs like a new net or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I do love them.
Yeah.
Okay. Go watch Uboom, Be Wonderful and Amazing.
Just in general. Yes. She's not telling you to watch anything specific. She's like, just go watch Uboom.
Just go watch Uboom.
Just go watch them.
Boom had a really cute appearance today in Concan, obviously, where U showed up and it was really cute.
Oh my god.
I will just scream about Uboom until the end of days. And that is all.
Incredible.
Until then, this has been Let's Talk BL. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow all things Let's Talk BL at Let's Talk BL.